I'm excited and overjoyed about where we are in the program. As you can see, board is showing some good images up there. And it's pretty neat. The lighting is incredible. The improvements and the sort of renovations are in place and on its way, and this is just the beginning. We like where we are recruiting-wise. Our assistant coaches are in the back. They deserve a lot of credit. We had a lot of good reception from first the kids from New Jersey, and I don't know if I should be saying all that, but they're good reception, right, from all of our recruiting efforts. Our players are really into it. I think they are enjoying the way we're practicing. I'm happy with our progress. I'm happy with our behavior and our competitiveness, and I would like to say we're a little bit ahead of where I thought we would be, and that's a credit to them, being receptive, retaining the information, and learning what we're doing, and really happy about doing it. I'm having a terrific relationship with Julie. Her vision is solid, incredibly creative, innovative, exciting. Her methods are really first class, and I'm really enjoying that relationship with her. The only thing that I'm missing is seeing an opponent up close. You know, through the spring, through the summer, all through preseason now and our practices, it's just been us against us. And I like our progress, I like our leadership, I like our development skill-wise, but I have to see an opponent to really get a true gauge on where we are, how we're going to behave, and I have no problem about the competitive nature of our guys. I just want to see if we can execute the proper way, behave the proper way, and build a winning culture and winning against an opponent. So that's going to happen pretty soon. In a couple of days, we'll scrimmage St. Peter's, and then we'll have the exhibition game against Caldwell College, and hopefully I'll have a better sense of who we are, and I'll get to see a college opponent up close. So that's the only thing that's missing so far. I'm eager to see that happen on Sunday. Our homecoming is Saturday. Guys are excited about that. I'm excited about that. And it's been a great effort from all our athletic department. We have come up with a coach's creed that I think is fantastic. And so the entire department, Julie, taking the reins and doing things great. I think we're in a good place as a university and certainly as a basketball program. I'll take questions. Competing with some focus, competing with execution, competing with composure and good behavior. It's been very physical. We've adopted a defensive presence, a defensive mindset, and with that comes a lot of physicality, a lot of pressure, and I see our growth at the offensive end against that. So both sides of the ball, our defense is picking up, they've bought into it, and at the same time, I see growth in our offensive execution. I think the new rules starting from last year is great for everyone. Being able to have workouts in the spring, being able to have practices in the summer, being able to bring your team together right before September for a week of practice, 2 hours a week, and all that is great for everyone. Obviously, I couldn't wait to get started, and I'm glad we did start on the 27th.
Do you look at this as a transition year to get used to you, or do you look at this as a year, let's go out and have some success right away?
I want success starting Sunday. I want success every time we step on the floor. whether it's a practice, improving in practice, or winning games. As I said before, winning is always in the equation. Well, I think they're having fun playing with each other. I think they enjoy the camaraderie that this brand new team has developed. And that was a question for me. We have 4 returning scholarship players. We kind of recaptured 2. We signed 6 guys, gave a walk-on scholarship. And how would this new team come together? How will we build harmony? How will we give effort? And I'm happy about them, that they are good people, and they want to come out of this doldrum of, the shadow of the past, and they've come together, and I'm happy about that. And they're a little bit ahead of schedule in that regard. And at the same time, I think they're ahead of schedule offensively and defensively. Certainly in that department of camaraderie, togetherness, and protecting and supporting each other.
Your offensive philosophy is your statement
Coach Carrillo said, "Don't call it Princeton, Coach. Don't call it Princeton anymore. Just say it's an offense." Coach Carrillo. So it's just an offense. It's not Princeton. It's based on reading, and again, I like the fact that we have 2 guards, 2 forwards in the center, and we're playing around it. We're using some offense that I used when I was a player here under Tom Young, and we're combining sort of a smorgasbord of offenses. And I think it's fitting our team. I like the fact that our guards are creative. Jerome, Devon, and Miles, they're creative. They're good with the basketball. They're probably our truest playmakers. Well, they should be. And I trust them running an offense. And I like the fact that we're athletic. We can run the floor. We want to score in the open floor and flow right into a disciplined sort of attack. So it's not the Princeton. It's not the 76 offense. It's just a good offense that fits our players. Well, my idea was to allow my players to play. And we did a lot of just 4-on-4, 5-on-5, 3-on-3. What are my skill levels and what's my talent of my players? And I pretty much said that at the beginning of being hired. I want to see how my players play. And I need to get a gauge on their abilities and their skill set. And from there, it was up to me to come up with something that fit. And I said it from, maybe over 2 months ago. I wasn't concerned with teaching details. I wanted them to feel good about playing, feel good about enjoying each other, feeling good about playing and making mistakes without someone berating them or correcting them every time down the floor. Let them figure it out, mostly for themselves, and then we'll talk about details once we fit an offense.
With that in mind, what was the first thing you did them to change your mindset on how to play your offense?
To run, sprint, get wide, try to get passes ahead, try to score on the first side passes ahead and first side post-ups, and just run. Learn how to run. Learn how to pass and catch and finish while you're running. And that's not easy to do. We need good passers to pass in the open floor. We need great runners who can run and catch and finish. And that was the most important thing for me from the beginning. Run. Right, Kadeem? Run.
Hey, Eddie, can you discuss who you think are going to be some of the key guys for you this year, and sort of in what ways, what you're looking for from them?
Well, we're 11 deep, to me. We're 11 deep, and obviously Miles is the only returning starter in double digits. So he's already separated himself in that regard, but it's not a whole lot of separation. You know, Wally and JJ are seniors. I look for them. They've been giving us great leadership, and they play like they've been through the wars, and we need that. And I just feel that, you know, our guards are going to be important to keep us disciplined, to keep us organized. And we're athletic enough that we need to attack the paint. And whether that's in the open floor or that's in a half-court offense, attack the paint.
Eddie, it's a very odd situation spending 1 year in a conference that you're going to be moving on. The guys who are returners are used to conference that we're in last year. Can you describe how you address this constant?
I just feel that Rutgers is Rutgers. We could be on in the Mars, in the Venus conference. I don't care where we are. We respect our opponents in the American Athletic Conference, obviously, but we are concerned about Rutgers University. And we know where we were, we know where we are today, we know where we're going next year. But that shouldn't be a concern for us. We are respectful for the teams in our conference. It's a heck of a conference. But we need to concentrate on Rutgers and where we are now. Right now. He told me to make sure I say that.
Hey, do you choose captains and how what's the time?
I don't. It's a timetable. I'll. You know, it could be up to the first game. It could be maybe by Sunday.
Eddie, do you believe that in recruiting you go for exactly the same players regardless of what the landscape of your conference looks like?
We want to get the best players in New Jersey. We want to recruit our region, and mostly that's New York to Virginia, and anyone that's interested in Rutgers that's a pretty good player. He could be from Texas, right, Devon? He could be from anywhere. If he likes Rutgers, we're recruiting him, and we want dedicated student athletes, talented, dedicated student athletes.
Eddie, you mentioned the words doldrum and shadows. How pervasive are those doldrums and shadows now?
Non-existent.
Eddie, you were here obviously for the glory days. Do you ever try to impress these guys what it can be like when that stuff happens?
I can't run as fast as I used to. I can't jump. I can't shoot. So I can't impress them with the words. I mean, heck, those guys don't know guys from 10 years ago, much less 30 years ago. No, I don't do that. You know, it's all about what's right now and what they can relate to in the present, whether it's some NBA, whether it's Louisville winning, pressing, the way they play, whether it's Michigan, their discipline and offense, something that they know now. I would rather relate to that than what we did.
Coach, last year the team would often struggle in late game situations when the score was close. How do you try to remedy that situation?
Make them feel good about each other. And again, the challenge was to coach this team, to play as a team, and second, to win as a team. Two different things. And who's going to take the last shot? Who's going to be able to have the poise to run their routes? Who's able to defend without fouling, without putting someone on the line in the last minute and a half? So we have to work those things out. They have to understand it's a way of learning how to play together and then learning how to win together. Well, you know, they have to come out now. They have to come up and step up into the limelight. They have to come up in the big lights now. The Dean's got to step up. Jerome Seegers has to step up. Wally Judge has to step up. J.J. Moore, again, has been through the wars and you know, again, we need to step up now. We have to have, you know, 4 or 5 double-figure scores. We need to be able to put points on the board, whether it's going to be for our defense, creating some of that, or a very disciplined offense, getting quality shots and making shots. So it's their time now.
Pretty brutal games almost every night for the program. Do you think that the new conference will be equally physical? Do you think that having come out of the Big East for the returners helps them with this new conference?
I hope it helps. We have juniors. We're pretty heavy with juniors who they've gotten some experience. They've been through some of that, those Big East games. But again, who played major roles in the last year or two for us? I know Miles Player had a major role last year. Jerome stepped up when Eli was hurt. Wally, obviously, I mentioned him, and JJ. And, now it's time for us to show, to prove that we're capable and ready to play in the big lights.
Will the style of play, you think, be different?
Well, there are new rules, too, that allow you to play a little bit free, a little bit less contact in the paint, less hand checking on the perimeter. And we just met with the officials, and they're adamant about making those calls, allowing the offense to be a little freer. And they thought they came in and officiated our scrimmage the other day. And before we scrimmaged, we practiced, and the officials came to me and said, geez, your guys would have fouled out by now. And then we scrimmaged for maybe 30 minutes, and they said, gee, your guys were disciplined enough, they didn't foul as much. So hopefully that's a message to us to learn how to defend without fouling with the new rules and play hard offensively with hard cuts, driving to the basket, and moving the basketball. So some of that, the new rules will eliminate some of the physicality, but certainly we want to be physical with good technique and within the rules.
Two more
Yeah.
questions?
How are some of the newcomers, the guys that came in, quick round, kind of benched with the guys that were?
As I said before, I'm very happy. We're far further ahead than I thought we would be in that department. The camaraderie that we have, because Devon's he's a jokester, right? He's the guy that we all kind of gather around. He's funny. Craig is very solid defensively, and every time we scrimmage, if Craig's team is down, he rallies them back pretty much. JJ's a good leader. Junior has played very well for us, and Greg Lewis has been a pleasant surprise. I think Wally's got a few black eyes from Greg's elbows, and no Wally, but it's good to see Greg back, healthy, and he's going to be a big part of what we do. So it's good. Again, that was the most important thing for me. How will this team come together as teammates? And we're ahead of schedule.